If this reading found you today, I feel like Spirit is sending a very clear message. You are far more powerful than you've been allowing yourself to realize. Because the energy coming through here feels like manifestation meeting momentum. It feels like a season where things begin responding to the energy you've been cultivating internally. And with the Queen of Wands sitting on the bottom of the deck, this reading carries a very magnetic energy. Confidence, visibility, personal power, creative force. This feels like someone stepping back into themselves, reclaiming their spark, remembering who they are after a period of doubt, hesitation, or emotional heaviness. And honestly, I think this reading is arriving for those of you who are finally beginning to believe in your own ability to create change again. Because the first card out is the Magician. And this is huge. This is manifestation energy in its purest form. The Magician says, you already have what you need. The tools are already in your hands. The power you've been looking for externally has been sitting within you the entire time. And honestly, I feel like Spirit is calling out any lingering self-doubt here. Because some of you have been underestimating yourselves, waiting for more confirmation, waiting for better timing, waiting until you feel fully ready. But the Magician says readiness is created through action, not through endless preparation. This card feels like a direct reminder that your thoughts, focus, words, and intents are shaping your reality more strongly right now than you may realize. Your energy is potent. What you consistently believe, expect, and work toward is gaining momentum. Then we move into the Nine of Cups, and this is wish fulfillment, satisfaction, emotional contentment, receiving something you've deeply wanted. This feels like manifestation beginning to take emotional form. And honestly, I think for many of you, this is less about one specific event and more about alignment, feeling good again, feeling hopeful again, feeling emotionally connected to your future instead of disconnected from it. And I need to say this clearly. Some of you are getting very close to receiving something you once doubted would happen for you. That message feels strong because the Nine of Cups often arrives after internal work, after emotional growth, after choosing yourself, after learning how to align your energy with what you're calling in. This is not random luck. This feels earned. Then we move into the Eight of Wands, and this is where things accelerate. Momentum, fast developments, quick communication, sudden opportunities, movement after stagnation. Something that has felt delayed may suddenly begin unfolding quickly. And honestly, I think this may catch some of you off guard because the energy feels like nothing, nothing, nothing. And then suddenly everything starts moving. Messages arrive, opportunities appear, ideas click, doors open, and Spirit keeps showing me that what felt stuck may have simply been preparing itself to unfold all at once. That's the beauty of divine timing. Sometimes nothing visible is happening because everything is being aligned behind the scenes. Then we move into the Four of Swords. And I actually love this card here because it grounds the reading. Because while things may begin speeding up externally, Spirit is reminding you not to abandon your inner peace in the process. The Four of Swords says, stay rested, stay centered, stay mentally clear. Do not let momentum turn into overwhelm. And honestly, this feels like a lesson in balance. Some of you have prayed for movement, progress, and opportunity, but now Spirit is reminding you that receiving well requires nervous system regulation too. You don't need to panic when life starts moving. You don't need to overthink every blessing that arrives. You don't need to create chaos just because things are changing. The Four of Swords says peace is still available to you, even in seasons of expansion. That feels deeply important. Then we end with the Page of Pentacles. And this feels like the beginning of something tangible, a new opportunity, a new project, a new offer, a practical step towards something lasting. And what I love about this card is that it's grounded. This is not fantasy. This is real potential. Something you can build. Something with long-term value. For some of you, this absolutely connects to career, business, finances, education, or creative work. For others, this feels like planting the first seed of a new life chapter. And Spirit keeps emphasizing, do not underestimate small beginnings. Because the Page of Pentacles often starts quietly. What begins as a small opportunity can grow into something life-changing if nurtured consistently. And underneath all of this is the Queen of Wands. This is the energy your spirit is moving into. confident, magnetic, self-assured, creative, visible. This feels like someone becoming deeply comfortable in their own power, not performative confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from surviving enough to know your own strength. And honestly, I think that's the heart of this reading. This is about trusting yourself enough to receive what you've been manifesting. Because for some of you, the biggest challenge will not be calling these opportunities in. It will be believing you're truly ready for them. But Spirit is very clear. You are. The Magician says the power is already yours. The Nine of Cups says fulfillment is available. The Eight of Wands says movement is coming. The Four of Swords says stay grounded. The Page of Pentacles says build what arrives. And the Queen of Wands reminds you to show up fully as yourself while doing it. So if this reading resonated, take what connected and leave what didn't. But this genuinely feels like a manifestation reading. Something you've been energetically calling in is getting closer. And Spirit keeps repeating, stop questioning whether you're capable. You already are.